So, you want to learn React. In this video, I will show you the main concepts you actually need to understand about React. And before we get technical, let's start with what problem does React solve? As you probably know, when the browser receives HTML, it creates something called the document object model, which is a tree-like structure that represents your website. Now, using JavaScript, you can change anything about this tree, which is great if you want to create interactive websites that actually respond to user actions. That means, as a user, we can click on buttons to make something happen on the website. But working with the DOM can get frustrating in bigger projects, because as a developer, we constantly have to query elements, update them, and when you want to create a new element, there are often quite a few manual steps involved. Because you are essentially constructing the UI with JavaScript instructions, instead of describing it with markup. And that is where React comes in. React was created to make building user interfaces easier to manage, because React uses the so-called declarative approach. That means in React we describe what the UI should look like, and not every tiny step of how to build it in the DOM. For example, in React you can say, show me a list of shopping items. You map over the array and return list items. With vanilla JavaScript, you would usually create the list element, create every single list item, set the text, append everything together, and then insert everything into the page manually. So both approaches work, but React often feels cleaner because you can focus more on the result rather than on the step-by-step DOM instructions. That step-by-step way is often called imperative programming, and React is declarative. Now the main idea in React is that it works with components. A component is a reusable building block. You can think of it like your own custom UI element. For example, you could have a navbar component, a product card component, a footer component, and then you can reuse these components wherever you need them. That is one of the biggest reasons React exists. And the cool thing about components is that in the code, a component is just a function that returns the UI you want to render. You can also pass values into components. These are called props, which is short for properties. Then you can use these props to make your components more dynamic and reusable. So instead of hard-coding the same content again and again, you pass different values into the same component. Now, as I said, a React component returns the UI you want to render. And the syntax we use for that is called JSX. JSX stands for JavaScript XML. The cool thing is you can mix JavaScript and HTML to build the user interface. When you want to use JavaScript values inside that JSX, you can insert them with curly braces. For example, you could pass a username into a component as a prop, and then show it directly inside a heading. Hopefully, you can already see how much easier this can make building complex interfaces compared to manually manipulating the DOM all the time. Now, another thing you will hear a lot around React is the term single-page applications. And what it means is that in React, we're essentially only working with one HTML page. And then JavaScript will take over and update the interface dynamically. So that means for the users, it still feels like they're moving through different pages. But all of that is happening in one index.html file. And we're just switching the components that are shown with React. And that is also the reason why components fit in so well. Because we can change parts of the user interface. We can update them and re-render without rebuilding the entire page. So when we're switching from side to side on a multi-page website, we're only changing the parts of the UI that actually need to change, which makes everything much faster. Now, enough with the theory. How do we actually start a project with React? When you have an empty folder opened in Visual Studio Code, you can open a new terminal and type the following command: npm create Vite at latest. To start a project with React, you need Node.js installed on your computer. Vite is a build tool that will ask you a few questions to generate the project setup. Here, I choose React as the framework and JavaScript as the variant. But as you can see, with Vite, you can use all sorts of different technologies. Once that is done, we get a very basic React project. Vite has built this website you see here in the browser as a starting point for the project. Now, in our code, you can see that a lot of folders and files have been generated. One thing you will notice right away is there's only one main HTML file. If we go inside, you can see that there's a single root element on that page. Now the entire app is rendered into this single root element on the page. And as you can see, this HTML file also includes the main.jsx file. So let's take a look at what is happening inside that file. It will import what it needs, creates the React root, and then renders the app component into the root element of the HTML file. So at the start, its job is mainly to connect your React code to the index.html file, because everything else is happening inside this app.jsx component. This is the main component you will usually work on first. And Vite automatically puts a lot of example code in here, just to show you how React works. This file is huge, but we actually don't need that for our own projects. So I usually delete everything inside this return statement. I also remove the example state and unnecessary imports. Now you see, it already looks a lot simpler. because this app component is basically just a JavaScript function. We write the name with a capital letter, so React can recognize that this is a component and not a normal helper function. Inside the component, we return something. You return the JSX you want to show on the page. So essentially, we can write the HTML elements we already know. I could return a div element and an h1 tag with some text. The only thing that you need to be aware of is that some words in HTML are reserved keywords in JavaScript that you cannot use. For example, the class attribute that we often use for CSS styling. If you want to use that one, you have to write class name, because class is a reserved keyword in JavaScript, and there are a few other examples too. But these are only tiny differences. Now, above the return statement, you can write the JavaScript that handles your logic. So you can create variables, write functions, or prepare your data, and then use all of that inside your JSX. Whenever you want to use a JavaScript value, you have to use curly braces. Now, probably the most important concept left to talk about is state. We use this all the time, but how does it work? State is data that can change over time. And when the data changes, React updates the UI for you. Let's see this in practice by building a counter that counts up when we click a button. First, we import something called useState from React. This is a React hook that lets a component store changing data. Then inside the app component, we write counter and setCounter equals useState. So this means this function gives us two things. The first one is the current state value, which is counter. The second one is a function that we use to update the value, which is setCounter. So you can think of it like counter is the current number and setCounter is the tool React gives us to change that number. Now, inside the JSX, we want to display the current value inside a heading. So we just write counter inside curly braces. And below that, we need a button that will increase the counter when it's clicked. Let's use the onClick event for that. Here we pass a handler function. Let's just call it increaseCounterHandler. And of course, we have to define that function. What should happen when we press the button? We want to update the state. And in vanilla JavaScript, you would probably say something like counter plus plus, and then manually update the h1 heading. But that would be the imperative way of thinking. In React, we use the declarative way. This means we update the state using the function we got from the useState hook, setCounter. Here, we set the new value to counter plus 1. So every time this function runs, the counter goes up by 1. This means the state is updated, which will automatically cause React to re-render the component. And this is important so the change actually happens on the website. Now, when the user clicks the button, the counter goes up. Now, if we look at this line of code again, you can see that we're using something called array destructuring. And that is actually not a React concept. It is plain JavaScript, which also shows something very important. If you want to get good at React, you need a solid JavaScript foundation first. And luckily, I already made a video for exactly that. So click here to learn 8 JavaScript concepts you should know before React. My name is Fabian, and this was Coding to Go.